All right, and we're live right now. Eric is ready today. Eric is ready. Eric said he got time today. That's what it is. He got time today. I think he must have took a nap today or something. He's amped up today. So those of you joining us live, please come on in. Master Your Money with Eric Anderson. We are live right now at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. The financial turtle himself, Mr. Eric Anderson. We are here. We're going to wait a few more moments as everyone comes in live and really tune on in. Let us know you can hear us. All right, all right. We're leading a few more moments as it gets to those places that needs to be. Good evening, good evening. Those tuning in right now, let us know you see us. Let us know you're here. Interesting topic. Eric is ready to go today. So really excited about that. Anytime Eric is excited and ready to go, that's where we at. That's where we at. Like he took a good nap today. So that's where we at with it today. Let's see here. What's going on? What's going on? Those joining us, can you hear us? Let us know you there. Drop something in the chat. Let us know. Let us know. What are your credit things? We're talking about credit today, you guys. So just to let y'all know, we're talking about credit. And to be honest, when you look at your credit, do you see credit as a problem or a habit? Please let us know. What are some of the things and challenges that you're having with credit? What are certain questions that you question about credit? Let us know. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Good evening. Good evening. I think it was about one more minute. Yeah, one more minute. We're gonna join in about one more minute. So we're gonna go. All right, all right. Let's see here. I think we got some. Oh, no, we got some folks in the chat. All right. Good, good, good. All right, all right. We're here. We're live right now. Thanks for joining in this evening. I know you could be doing anything right about now, but today we are here. So let's go ahead and run this down real quick. Let's see here. Where's my stuff? All right, all right. Welcome to Master Your Money with Eric Anderson, the man. If you haven't seen the videos that he's dropped, I guess this week, right? This week, fire, you guys. So please follow at Anderson Taxes on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that good jazz. But Eric has been in the trenches for over 20 years, corporate, small business, personal budgets, retirement. He is the CFO, you guys. So tonight we are talking about credit repair and why credit repair and credit in itself just is like what we need to do with our credit, right? Habits over repair. Like, what do we need to do? And so having that credit reality check. Eric, let us know what's going on in your world when it comes to this topic. I know you got something good, sir.
I'm good, sir. So let me ask you first. When you hear the word credit repair, the phrase credit repair, what does that mean to you?
For me, it means that I did not pay something or I did something that I wasn't able, got myself in a situation that I have to, it's gone to collections and I have to repair something that's affected my credit. So I did something I probably shouldn't, or something so happened that where I have to pay something and I didn't do it. So it affected my credit. So for it to get to that place of like collections or something like that, I have to neglect whatever that responsibility was. And now I'm in a situation I didn't want to be in, and now it drops my credit. So that's where I'm thinking, but let's know where you think when you think about that.
So when you think about that, what do you think you need to do in order to fix that?
Uh,
I know social media's got you thinking, it's got your head twisting.
You got me thinking, Eric. You got me thinking. So
I know social media has your head spinning. You know, social media tells you one thing.
You know,
you're supposed to do.
I go with this right here, right? I go with this because if I use my personal experience on, hey Charles, hey Leah, Rod, if I use my personal experience when I had like a 509 credit score, don't tell nobody. 509 credit score. And the thing is that I had student loans that I didn't pay on time, right? I had student loans. I had a lot of different things that was going on. I had a repo on there. I was mismanaging the finances and really just making poor choices and not paying like your medical bills and not paying your credit card bills on time and certain things of that nature. So in order for me to get or acquire better credit, I had to start paying off some of that stuff. I really had to make sure I was more responsible about what type of debt, what type of credit, I'm taking in, so I can get to a score that I would like. So that's where I was at with it. When I think of that, and I needed to change my behavior and how I saw, credit. Because to be honest with you, Eric, I wasn't like raised with like knowing about credit because we never had any credit in the first place. So for me to say, oh, we're gonna have credit, I was like, my credit was shot like at 18, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't give 18-year-old credit card with nothing, with no plan or nothing like that. I never, so it was just like once I got it, I just did what any 18-year-old would do, like go buy stuff and food and junk food and stuff like that. So, but that was the behavior because I was just trying to survive at the time. So, immaturity in that regard too, as well. So,
yeah. But as you got older and you learned and you knew better, did you still do those type of things?
No, not as I got older. I didn't. I realized it was putting me in a hole that I'd never wanted to be in at all.
So let me ask you another question. So let's do a hypothetical. So let's say I asked to borrow money from you and you loan me money. You trusted me and everything, like you loan me money. And then I say to you, I don't have to pay you back. And I give you every BS excuse. I know this is a little far-fetched from what we're talking about, but I come up with, excuse my language, everybody, bullshit laws, clauses, and things like that to make me not have to pay you back. Do you think that's correct?
I don't care what you owe me money.
But if I came up with some BS excuse as to why I don't need to pay you back, do you think that's right?
No.
All right. So for the audience to understand where I'm going with this, before we got on, what did I do? I went on Facebook and I scrolled for less than 5 minutes. And every post I came upon that said about fixing your credit within 14 days, writing dispute letters, getting all these things removed from your credit that damn well are your debts. All these young people, all these people of all color, all races, all these people are running around teaching people courses, click my masterclass, click my course for me to teach you how to, for me to send you these dispute letters, to send you all this stuff, to get things that were removed that damn well are your debts. Do you think that's morally correct?
That's not morally correct.
So why do we believe we should be able to do that? I mean, we're just talking. I mean, I don't know. I really truly don't know why someone believes that they should be able to go get a car that they know driving off the lot they could not afford it because of the interest rate, the 7, 8 years that you got to pay for it, the huge down payment you had to come up with, or you might not even come up with a down payment because they just want to let you drive it off. So again, even in that case, you should know you should not get this car. Then you're running around trying to hide it. You lose the car, you get this repossession, it's on your credit, and then you're scrolling on Facebook one day and someone tells you, I can get that removed, even though it's legitimately your debt. Or like we were talking about offline, the person who, interesting, I get kicked out of my apartment because I can't pay rent, but I'm applying for a house and I can't get the house because my credit shows that I'm not credit worthy to be able to get a house. So someone is telling me they can get that removed off of my credit in 7 to 14 days.
Sound like a good thing, Eric. Why is that not a good thing? You make it sound like, is that a good thing?
What are you learning from that?
You know,
what are you
honestly, from that particular standpoint, from there is that no matter what I do and I mess up, there's always somebody to say
There's
that they can
always
fix
somebody,
it.
but here's the crazy part about it. Usually it doesn't work. But we are so ingrained. We are so, and again, I know I'm going to hurt people's feelings on this. To me, it's almost like, I want to say almost like an MLM. When you, again, when I'm watching all these videos and stuff, I think of it from a business standpoint. And what I mean by that is there's no way all of you who are doing this and teaching these, doing these free master classes and these letters, there's no way you can be making a whole lot of money. And I'll explain to you why. If I take your course and I download all your dispute letters and I dispute all these places, how many times am I going to be your client?
Just that once, right?
Unless I'm a damn fool, right? I'm just going to do it one time, right?
Yeah.
So how many revolutions of that could I be teaching these courses and doing all of this before people are running around saying that person, that's nonsense, that doesn't work? How often does that have to keep happening? It's almost like the thing we were joking around about the thing where everybody's commenting saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm saying, well, if I don't know what I'm talking about, then all of you show me and everybody how it worked for you. And then they don't respond because it didn't work for you.
Right.
Because I go on and say, don't do this. This is a lie. This is a scam. This is nonsense. You all come on and say you're hating on this person, all this and that. And then I say, well, fine. If I'm lying, show us how they got that removed from your credit in 14 days. And not just that, stayed off your credit. Not just removed, stayed off your credit. Show us how it stayed off your credit. And then then when you have that conversation, then everybody's silent. For me, it's the moral standpoint of believing, like you said, that I can go out and do whatever I want to do. I can go run these credit cards up. I can go get these cars I can't afford. I can go get this house that I'm house poor. I can go do all these things. Again, everybody makes bad decisions. It happens. But you need to be an adult and you need to fix your credit, not scam to write dispute letters. And again, let me be clear. Companies make mistakes. And what I mean by that is if there is legitimately something on your credit that is not you, that is not your deal, then you're right. You should write dispute letters. You should get those type of things removed from your credit. I'm not saying those things don't happen. But when you're seeing these videos, Isaac, is that what you're thinking? Or are you saying these are people who've done these things and now they need somebody to help them remove it from their credit?
Yeah.
Again, I gave the example. I borrowed money from you and I'm refusing to pay you back. Are you good with that?
I am not good with that, Eric.
So why do you think it's good that you should be able to do that to the credit card company? I see videos where they say that, do you know you can sue the collection company because it's against the law for them to have the collection company come after you for that money instead of just paying your bills? Instead of just living within your means.
You know, Eric, some of these bills are just really high. Like, why can't the bill just be really high? Like, why should I have to pay that? And if it's on my credit, you know, already, like, why pay it? If it's already, I've already took the hit, like, why pay it?
Are you asking me, Isaac, why should I have to pay for that car that's sitting in my driveway? I didn't ask for that car. I didn't go into the dealership and sign the paperwork and drive that car around and floss and do all of that. And then one day when I can't afford it, I'm going to say that's your fault, dealership.
You got me in a car you knew I couldn't. I couldn't afford.
Are Isaac, are you saying that I'm watching these videos and these people are telling me how to lie and commit fraud to get these $50, $100, $150,000 lines of credit and credit cards when I know damn well I don't own a business, but I'm putting in applications to get these cards and then I run them up, be damned, and then I'm expected to pay it back and it's your fault, credit card company, because you know damn well that I committed fraud. So it's your damn fault. And again, people can get mad all they want. You can get mad all you want. Again, if you think that is morally correct, I'm gonna be an ass. You think that's morally correct? Let me give you my Cash App. I'm not paying you back. I'm not paying you back. I'm telling you straight up, I'm not paying you back. We can put my Cash App in the chat. How many people you think will Cash App me, Isaac? If I'm telling you first, I'm not paying you back.
Hi, Eric. I told y'all Eric was on one today.
I thought we're playing. We're live. Come on, Isaac.
I was like, I don't know. Hey, we're gonna put the Cash App if they want to send the brothers some money. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody's giving me any money, Isaac. Because they already know up front I ain't paying them back. I'm telling them up front, I'm not paying them back. And so if that is your mindset when you're running around here lying and committing fraud, and what's worse again, Isaac, is the people who you are taking these courses from are charging you anywhere between 8 and 15% of what they get you in this lie, in this fraud, to get money you can't pay back. You can't even pay that back.
Yeah.
You can't even pay that back.
Eric,
but you're excited. The fire, you see all that stuff and everything because you really think they're helping you.
Yeah.
They're helping you get something that you don't deserve. Point blank, period.
Yeah. We got a question, Eric. If you want to take a question, you good for a question?
We are great.
All right. So explain the difference between debt management plan versus a debt resolution.
So to me, when I think about that, it's more of almost like a situation where I'm telling you I can't pay it back. And so we're either getting it removed or we are doing a, what do you call it? We're doing a compromise for me to pay a certain amount to try to get it removed. And the debt management is me figuring out, repositioning what I'm doing and stuff like that and figuring out how to pay it back. So getting on a debt payment plan, as opposed to someone calling up and say, hey, I can pay you this amount and then this will just get it removed, as opposed to the person who says, no, I want to pay it back. I just need to figure out how to move stuff around and get into a payment plan as to where I can afford to make these payments to pay it back off.
Okay.
And those are two different things, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, they're definitely two different things. Awesome. Thank you, Leah, for that question. That's really good because that, I think sometimes people get that kind of
correct. Again, to me, when I think about that, it's like the difference between a chapter 7 and a chapter 11. You know, the Donald Trump thing that people talk about all the time. All they did, they didn't get everything wiped away. They repositioned their debt to be able to figure out how to pay it back instead of saying, hey, I'm destitute. I don't have anything at all. So, you know, I'm completely penniless. There's no way I can pay this back. That's the difference between those two.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the other question was like, which is more positive, I guess, in that
debt management, obviously paying your bill.
Management, right?
Yeah. Because again, So something that a lot of people do not realize, um, when you get debt removed, and this happens a lot. This happens a lot when people do their taxes. When you call up there and you make a agreement where you say, "Okay, I'm willing to pay you this amount to get it removed from my credit or whatever." What happens is, so you'll make a compromise, and or even worse, say my car gets repossessed and they go and they sell the car, and what they sell the car for is way less than what I owe on the car. You think you're done,
Yeah.
correct? And you're not. And you get what's called a 1099-C that you have to put on your tax return because that money is considered income for you. And again, I don't ask that to clients when we come in, when we do your taxes. I don't say, "Hey, did you write anything off? Do you have any 1099-Cs or like that?" I don't just bluntly ask that. I'm just like, "Hey, did anything happen through the year? Anything that would affect you tax wise?" And a lot of people think when you get stuff like that removed or whatever, you think that ends it. I've actually had people who we've turned in their tax returns and then they got a letter from the IRS saying that the IRS amended your return and they added that 1099-C stuff onto your return. And then they call me like it's something I did wrong. And it's like, "No, you did not say that you had some cancellations and stuff." And they're like, "How does that go on my taxes?" I'm like, "No, you get a 1099-C for that." And then they're like, "Well, that's not," and then I have people say, "That's not what they said on the phone when I did the compromise and things like that." I'm like, "Well, that's not usually how it works. You're going to get a 1099-C if you do those type of things." And a lot of people think, especially like you said, especially if you get your car repossessed or something like that, you think that it's over. It's not. A lot of people get 1099-Cs and stuff for things like that. So then it ends up going on your taxes, and so then that affects your taxes, and the fact that, say I was going to get a return and then I have this huge 1099-C that goes onto my return, I could end up owing taxes because that's income, right? It's considered income. And so a lot of people don't know that. So, and then also, the debt resolution, stuff like that, obviously stuff like that can be on your credit and things like that as well. So it's better to just try to work it out, try to figure it out, as far as, setting up a payment plan and things like that, as opposed to just getting it completely removed or making an offer and compromise, whatever.
That's good. We think about, like how Dave Ramsey kind of has that, like, not getting credit cards, tear them up, burn them up, whatever it is, not having credit card at all for nothing, right? Because, a lot of folks disagree with him. Like, well, I can't go get this, I can't go get that. And so you think about it, it's like, well, the model works for some because the discipline, the behavior is not there. And if you have this invisible money in a sense, I could just swipe all day.
Yeah,
right.
Things that you would not buy if you have cash. It just happens like that. I mean, I'm just like anybody else. I have credit cards and stuff like that. And there are things I'm just like, just put on the card and then the end of the month, I'll handle it. I'll handle it at the end of the month. You don't think about it like if it was a debit card. If I had a debit card, I'd have to have that money right then and there. But if I have the credit card, in your mind, you're saying, as long as I pay it before, the date of when, it starts doing the interest, I'm good.
Right.
Then a lot of people think about the, the points, the miles and all that stuff. A bunch of business owners, they have that conversation and stuff. But again, not to jump on what Dave and all of them say, but like they usually say, most people who say they're going to do that, they end up carrying a balance. And when you carry a balance, you end up having to pay interest. So then that interest eats it up. It eats it up. It eats up those points and it eats up all that stuff up. And so, because again, if you don't have the discipline, like you said, to say, I'm only going to buy things that I can pay within the period of me not having to pay interest, then I need to treat it like it's a debit card. And again, credit card companies are slick because that's how they make their money. So when you are consistent like that, when you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, what do the credit card companies do?
They offer you to increase your credit limit.
And they keep on raising the limit to the point to where now it's at a point where if I'm not disciplined, now because I have this credit card, I'm just running this credit card up. So then it gets to a point where I don't I don't make enough money in order to pay that off within the month. So now I'm carrying this balance. And then that's how I end up paying the interest.
Yeah, it's funny because I got a new business credit card in, and it was like, did you get it? I'm like, no, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't even want to activate it, right?
Yep.
Because I don't want to, tempt myself to be like, you know what, I do need some stuff for
Yep.
the bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, do I know I don't need anything. Like I didn't need it before, I just don't need it. And I didn't want to, kind of build that up and say, hey, oh, I can do this and just swipe on the business credit and I'll go ahead and get it back. And I was like, I didn't even want to deal with it. And if I have the cash in the business, then I'll just use the cash that I have in the business and not use the credit. But
it's like we were laughing. Like I said, I get texts, phone calls, letters every day about either taking money out of my house or getting business credit, lines of credit, because they're like, hey, we're running your business credit. We see your profit and loss statements and stuff like that. I get that stuff all the time. And then if you are locked into saying, I'm just going to get all this money because I'm going to use other people's money to do all these things and like that, you can really and truly get in trouble with that if you're not disciplined and say, hey, I really don't need that money. And again, that's why, again, it's amazing to me when I have clients come in and we have that conversation and they say, I want to start this business or I want to have all this money for my business. And so-and-so said they can help me get 250,000 or they can help me get 300,000. And when you say, what do you need that money for?
Man, I'm trying to ball out. But they have to ball out the club, Eric.
But again,
I'm trying to ball out.
Is that something that's helping you grow your business? Usually that's not the conversation, right?
I know, right.
And if you are trying to get something with credit and you're having to take these courses and all this stuff for people to teach you how to get more money than you can go get on your own, and you got to pay them all this money to get it, more than likely they're committing some type of fraud or something. And again, it's a situation where you don't really need that money. Mm-hmm. Your financials, your bank statements and stuff show that your business is not making enough money that if you were to get that loan, for you to be able to pay that back. But because this person is telling you they can get you all this money, you're already in the hole because you're paying this person all this money to basically, again, call it what you want to, it's fraud. They're committing fraud. They're putting stuff on your application that you wouldn't put on it. I've actually watched videos. I haven't had to take courses or anything. I've watched people actually walk people through it and say, you need to show you make $150,000, $200,000 a year in your business. Some people don't even have a business, but they're telling you to put that on your bank statement. And if your business makes $150,000, $200,000, you probably don't need anybody to help you. If you really and truly have bank statements, you don't need anybody to help you.
Yeah.
When I go and apply for stuff, I don't need anybody to help me. You don't need anybody to help you do this. So it's like they are scamming and lying on your application to get you these things. And the only one who's hurt in the end is you. It's the same thing. Like I said, if you went in there and you bought a car that you know damn well you can't afford. It's why people don't co-sign for people, right? If you need a co-signer, you don't need that car. Because now that co-signer.
I need to get to work, Eric.
Well,
I really need to get to work. I can't take 3 buses to get there. We're not New York, Chicago, where you could kind of hop on, subway or something like that. Like, public transportation. I light rail ain't running like that, right? Like,
cool. Oh, but then if you say this is what I can afford, but that ain't the car you want. Because a lot of people out here are driving cars that are way over what they can afford, right? The problem is not having a car. The problem is the type of car you're driving, right? Like I said earlier, when we were having that conversation, when me and that guy were having the conversation, when we were saying, yeah, if you have this type of car, you're buying this car to get the Section 179, but do you understand what the oil changes on that? Do you understand what the tires are on that? You know, what the brakes and all that stuff, the insurance on that type of car. The problem is not getting to and from work. No. I see the question. Does that management go on your credit? Basically, you're bringing your credit down. You're bringing your debt and everything down if you're doing debt management. So it's helping your credit in that regard. So the debt resolution, more than everything, find a boy drive on the bus. Jamel. So, but yeah, that's see. How did I pay taxes? Trump style. You know what? It's funny. It's funny because everybody does not see me and you. You know, we get entertained, and so a lot of people don't know. I send Isaac articles all the time, don't I? And it's
Yeah.
articles of wealthy people having to pay taxes. Who's the senator right now? They came to his house. He owed $5 million, right? Because he had all this land, he had all this stuff that he wasn't paying taxes on, right? He had sold some property and he didn't pay the taxes
Pay
on
taxes
that.
on that. You're right. On the
Yeah.
gains.
But he's wealthy, right? It's in a trust, right? No, I'm serious. I mean, everybody is asking these questions. We're veering off. We're veering off.
I know.
But again, right? I send you these articles all the time. But in our head, we believe, because we see people on social media tell you, rich people don't pay taxes. Okay. If you want to believe that, a great example of that is, why is 50 Cent moving out of New York?
Taxes.
Don't he got it in a trust?
Why you say it like that? Like you say, going into the trust, man. Hey.
That's what people tell you, right? If you watch all these videos, they say this is what wealthy people do, right?
Yeah.
They put everything in a trust. It sits in a trust. You put your business in your trust, you put your house in your trust, you put your cars, everything in your trust, and you don't pay no taxes. That's what everybody says, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see people, wealthy people, acting a fool because the new mayor, he wants to start charging more in taxes. Why would that matter to you?
Yeah.
You got everything in a trust. You got all this stuff, you know, all these different things. Why does that matter to you?
I guess it's interesting, Eric, because like, when is credit, like, I guess, use or like, is it the best way to use credit if you had to use credit, right? So I don't know when it, you know, is it just a complete waste? Like what would be the best scenario of utilizing credit for your advantage, whether it be personal or business? And then how do you, like, what is the behavior behind that, or the mindset to do that when approaching your credit? For those who,
someone asked a question earlier, Miss Linda Williams, she asked a question earlier, and her question before we started the live was, she sent that earlier today. She said, is it a good thing to have great credit? And I said, it can be. It absolutely can be a great thing. But our problem is, it's like, remember back in the day when they had the question where it was like, what would you rather have? $10 million, $100,000 a year, 800 credit score, and it was something else crazy. And all these young people were saying 800 credit score. And so why would that be the one thing you'd want? And you like, because you believe if I have an 800 credit score, I can get whatever I want. That's your mindset. That's everybody. When you watch these videos, that's what everybody says. I can get you a 750 credit score. I can get you 800 credit score. Not one conversation of showing financial statements to be able to prove whatever my credit can get me, to be able to prove I can pay for it. Think about that. Going to the Mercedes dealership and sitting down and saying, I have an 800 credit score, so I can get any car I want because I have an 800 credit score.
You know what?
But I don't make no money. I'm sorry, I don't make enough money to be able to make that car note. How long am I going to have that 800 credit score? But again, that's our logic. And again, that goes back to, I can fix your credit in 14 to 30 days. I can get all this stuff removed from your credit. So what? So now you've given me a clean slate to go right back out and do the bullshit I did to get me where I'm at today. To get me where I'm at today, you're just going to wipe everything clean, and I'm going to still have the same mindset Because now I believe because I have a 750, 800 credit score, I can run right out there and go do exactly what I did before to get me right here where I'm at today. That's our mindset. And then people tell you, they run off all these different laws and all these different codes and all these things that you can write all these dispute letters. And if they don't respond back in 14 days, they got to remove it. Or if they don't do this and that. And the whole time, Isaac, I'm going to borrow some money from you and I'm not going to pay you back.
Oh man, when you put it like that, see, that's what I'm trying to say. When you said that, I was like, I'm gonna borrow money from you,
and I'm not gonna pay you.
And then I'm not gonna pay it back.
I'm not gonna pay you back. I'm
I'm
telling you, when you hand me the money, I'm not gonna pay you back.
Man, so, you know, somebody cousin owe them some money right now, and it's $20. Like, correct. Right, it's 20, and they're having a fit. The whole family is in you know, disarray because of $20. You know, somebody a little funky $20. It wasn't funky when you needed it.
Correct.
Right? But so it's okay for you to go out and have fun. I see you on IG steak and lobster dinner, drinks.
That's the videos. And that's the crazy part. Those are the videos. I can help you fix your credit, and he's walking around a Lamborghini. What that got to do with fixing your credit? Because again, that's our, I mean, it's sad to say, that's our mindset.
Yeah.
We believe that we can go out here and mess up and do whatever we want to do, go buy whatever we want, lie on applications and things like that to go get things that we know for a fact we can't afford. And then somebody is going to help us get it removed from our credit in 14 to 30 days. And we're just going to keep it moving. It doesn't even make any sense to say it, but we sit and laugh when we watch the comments and see all these people pressing credit to get sent the link to get the dispute letters or to take the masterclass and things like that. Instead of just sitting back and saying, no, I'm not here to chastise anybody or make anybody feel bad, because we all make mistakes. Things happen. But when things happen, you need to do the correct things to fix it. That's not the correct way to fix it. Like Leah's asking, at the end of the day, the main thing is, if I'm in this situation, call it debt management, call it building a budget, call it whatever you want to call it. You need to change the way that you are handling your finances and your money. If you are in that type of situation, you need to change the way that you handle your finances. It's that simple. At the end of the day, you need to really sit down and say, we are in this situation because we are living above our means. And even if it was a situation where like, no, we weren't living above our means, a medical emergency happened or something like that happened. And then again, you know what I say with that, right? Great. How long did your emergency fund last before it ran out and then you had bad credit? Well, I don't have an emergency fund. Well, then you don't have a very good budget. That's the part that people don't want to understand. You can say all day, I had a medical emergency, I had these type of things like that. What did he say? Pull that up while I'm talking. Oh yeah, Jamel. Yes, correct. Bronx Tale. Look it up. Yep. I agree exactly. If I give you money, in my mind, I'm already saying I'm not getting that money back. If I decide to give you money, in my head, I'm like, I'm not getting that money back. Because like Jamil says, I'm going to be fuming. If I see you go on a cruise, if I see you with brand new shoes on and you owe me money, I'm going to feel a certain type of way. I am. And that's anybody. I'm going to feel a certain type of way. If you owe me money, if you're walking around knowing you owe me money and you still out here living like you don't think you owe me money, that's anybody, unless you have the type of mindset like Jamil just said, where you say, you know what, if I give you this money, that money's gone. In my head, that money's gone. It's great if you give it back to me, but I can't lose sleep over me lending you money. It's the absolute truth. You have to sit back and say, I cannot lose sleep watching you, pocket watching you, because I'm mad because you know you owe me money, but you out here living your life. It's going to frustrate you more than the person who owes you money. So if it's money that you cannot afford to lose, then don't give it to them. Don't loan it to them, so to speak. Don't give it to them because you're going to be more frustrated than the person who owes you money. So, but again, on the credit and stuff like that, it all comes down to at the end of the day, living below your means. Things happen. You're right. Things happen as far as, I can have medical emergency, my car can break down, so I got to go use my credit card, all types of things like that. But it all comes down to if I said to you, you know, do you have a budget? Do you have these type of things? And if you don't have an emergency fund, if you don't have those type of things, you can always end up getting in trouble when some type of emergency happens. So that should be the first thing you think about before you run out and go get a bunch of credit cards or go and go get a bunch of line of credit or go out and get a car, anything like that. You should really make sure that that fits inside of your budget. If I'm going to go buy a house, is that going to fit inside of my budget? Again, if I'm going to go buy a car, is that going to fit inside of my budget? You really need to look at your overall budget instead of just going to the car dealership and say, I can afford to make that payment because I make such and such amount per month. And so I can afford that payment. But are you doing the 50, 30, 20, or whatever type of budget that you're doing? Are you doing those type of things to make sure that you can afford to make that payment? And when I say afford to make that payment, that means still paying yourself first. Can I afford to pay myself first and then buy this house or buy this car or do that? Or maybe I'm buying too much house or maybe I have too big of a car and things like that. But that's not what we think about when we go to the dealership. We just want to live that life, right?
Creep, Eric. Is what you talked about
Live that life,
before,
right?
that lifestyle creep.
Well, and then sadly, again, not to judge anybody like that, but that's how you can end up having bad credit. Point blank. That's how you can end up having bad credit. You go out and you go get these credit cards and things like that, and then you can't pay them back. Or you get this car and you can't afford the car note. Or like we were joking around the other day when we were saying, yeah, I got this car, but it's got this check engine light on it because I'm afraid to go take it in because I can't afford to get it fixed. And again, I'm not saying it and trying to be funny. There's might be people out here who are in that situation. But it's true. If you're sitting there thinking about it, it's like, man, I can't even afford to get this car fixed. And then as you see, depending on your credit, how much you put down on the car and things like that, then you're under, right? So if I try to trade the car in, I'm underwater. And so then if I trade it in to go get another car, what happens with that? That money moves to the next car. So now I'm underwater in that car. And this cycle just continues and continues and continues and continues instead of you saying, hey, I need to maybe sit back and buy a cash car. Or I need to sit back and buy a cheaper car or something like that. We don't, like you said, lifestyle creep, our peers, things like that makes us do things that we really and truly can't afford to do. And then you pay for it by ending up having bad credit. Now, when you ask the part about is good to have credit, is it a good thing to have good credit? So yeah, it's a good thing to have good credit because again, if I want to go buy a house, if I want to go buy a car and things like that, the interest rate I'm going to pay is way lower, right? Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I'm paying way less interest on those type of things, then my note is way less. That's the crazy part. The people who really and truly have money and have good credit are the ones who pay the least amount. They're the ones who pay the least because again, they are consistent. They do what they're supposed to do. They pay their bills on time and things like that. So they don't have the funny videos that we see of these people going into these car dealerships with the 480s and the 520s and getting a cosigner and having to have these huge down payments and stuff like that. People who have good credit, they don't have those type of conversations, right? And usually if you have good credit, you're not going to go in there and buy something that is above your means, right? So it's that cycle. So if I'm already doing that and that's my mindset, and then somebody helps me clean up my credit in order for me to be able to go right back out there and do these things, have I learned anything?
Yeah.
Or am I going to keep repeating the same thing? And the most frustrating thing, like I said, is when people come in and ask those type of questions and they say, again, I'll just be real because we're having this conversation. I'm looking across from you. Your business really isn't profitable. You don't have we'll call it reserves for a business, not just a savings account, because a business usually needs reserves, right? To pay for inventory if I have people working for me, to pay payroll. Um, if I have a business, there's going to be up and down months. So I have to have reserves for the slow months. Like I said, I go on vacation in November, December, because usually this is a slow time for me, right? So if I don't have reserves, I could really have a problem being able to pay my bills in November and December, because I don't make nowhere near as much money in November and December as I make in other months, right? So if I don't have reserves, I could really be in trouble those months. So if I don't have reserves, if I'm not holding money back in these other months, if I'm just spending money like I'm crazy, and I know I'm a business owner and I know I'm going to have to have money these other months, what do I end up having to do?
No.
I have to go get lines of credit. I have to use my credit card. I have to go out here and do all these things. And then to me, I can see getting a line of credit or a business loan or something like that if I'm using that money to grow the business. Because again, the interest that I'm paying on that loan, the money that I take from that loan, it's got to give me a bigger ROI than what I'm paying in interest, right? Or that makes no sense at all. So how does that help my business if I go and buy a Tesla, G-Wagon, or whatever on my business line of credit or on my business credit, and that is not bringing me any return? I just went and bought the car, correct? So that's not giving me any return. So the money I spent on the car, I'm not getting any ROI on that. I'm driving around, right? But I'm not really getting any ROI on it. And again, that's where people get in trouble. I understand you can get a no interest loan for 12, 18 months, whatever. But what happens once you get past that point, you're having to pay these huge interests and things like that? We don't think about those type of things. And then that's how we end up getting in trouble. So, you might, again, I'm not going to argue if doing this credit repair and all that stuff, I'm not going to argue on if that works as far as getting all this stuff removed from your credit. My question is, did you learn anything from it? And then what do you do when you fix your credit to go do these things, to go get that money, to go do that stuff? What did you do with that money when you got it? Did you go right back to the same habits? Did you blow that money? Are you going to be in the same situation a few months from now? What are you really and truly doing? I would never go get a line of credit or anything like that unless I was saying I'm using that to grow my business and I know that I can make that payment back every month.
With the interest.
With the interest. And my expectation is that money is going to grow my business to give me an ROI that's going to make me more than the interest I'm paying on that loan. Otherwise, that makes no sense. Absolutely no sense to do it the other way, where I'm just going out and getting a whole bunch of credit cards and doing stuff like that. Again, in many of these situations, which again is absolutely sad, the people should be ashamed of themselves to run around and say, I can get you $250,000, $300,000, $500,000, and you know for a fact that that person cannot afford to pay that back, and they owe you, and they're already in the hole, the 25 to 50,000 from them giving you 10% or whatever they got you. So they're already in the hole, and you can care less because you got the $25,000, $50,000 from them. And you probably got more because you fixed their credit in order for them to get it. And now the credit's checked. Again, people, I'm not laughing at you. I'm serious.
I don't know, Eric. I feel like you're laughing at us, man.
It's just, again, because again, this isn't to try to make people feel bad or anything like that. If you're somebody who's caught up in this and doing these type of things, you really, it would be cheaper for you to sit down and talk to someone like me and just have a conversation. Just pay for a consultation and have somebody, again, like you say, I'm the Grim Reaper. No, I'm the pros and cons. When we come in here, we talk about the pros and cons. We talk about, does that make sense for you to do that? I've actually had clients, Isaac, who they've sat down and come in here and said, I want to do this. And they said, they give me all this. And I say, have you gone to your bank on your own? Have you gone to your bank on your own and just applied for a loan? And they say, no, I didn't think I can get a loan.
Wow.
And they don't get $250,000, $500 because you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can get the 15 to 25 you need to get started that you can pay back. And it only costs the hour consultation. I'm not charging you 10% for that advice. I can help you fill out the application and all of that. I just charge you the hourly fees for you to sit here and talk to me. I don't charge you any percentage or anything like that, as opposed to the person who's lying on your application and charging you 10%. So does that make more sense to pay me a couple of $100 to get it, and then you do whatever you want to do with the money, as opposed to you be in that huge hole to get money that you can't afford to pay back? And when I say can't afford to pay back, you can't pay back the 25, 50,000 that you paid that person to help you get this money.
I appreciate it. That's good stuff right there, Eric. So they can come see you
One
if
last,
they have any question. If they have any questions, or they have anything at all when it comes to credit, business credit, how to be able to just develop better habits, what they could do, maybe having some better debt management, really snowball some debt, get on that right path where they're not paying so much interest, right? Or paying so much where it's a lot going out, and just having a better financial picture. So you're available for that consultation, so they can reach out to you, right?
30-minute consultations, correct.
All right. Well, go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry.
But again, to me, more than anything else, like, we're not going to show everybody the 20 videos I sent you. But when you look at the people who are doing these videos and stuff, in my head, I would say, how does that person know more about credit repair than I do? What is that person getting ready to show me that I don't know on how to fix my credit and things like that? We don't think about that. All we see is this person saying, I can help you fix your credit. And you're in desperation mode because I can't get this house. I can't get this car. I can't get this credit card. I can't get these things that I think I need. And this person says they can help me do it. No proof of concept, mind you. No proof of concept. It's almost like the thing we were talking about earlier. If I'm lying, if everybody says I'm lying, please pull up your account. If what this person is saying is true, Isaac, everybody pull up your accounts showing where this person did that. And then everybody goes silent. So it's like, why do y'all believe this person is telling you the truth? He's telling you something that in your head, if you sit back and think about it, you're like, that doesn't make any sense. Think about that, Isaac. I have bad credit, but somebody can get these credit cards removed from my credit in 14 to 30 days. And I know for a fact that those are my debts. I know for an absolute fact that those are my debts, but somebody's going to do something to get it wiped away from my credit. And I believe them.
You know what? I have faith, Eric. Some of us have faith, and we believe that if I pray and I lay hands on the debt, that it shall be removed, right? I can't do that, Eric.
So we're talking about habits, right?
If I'm praying, if this is my habit, I feel like waking up in the morning and praying that this is gonna all be gone is a good thing. Give me something good on this, Eric. I can't just wish it away. And if somebody says that they got a little bit of sprinkle magic over here, and you know what I'm saying, that they can make this happen, I think I'm hoping on that I can make my mistake kind of disappear because I did make the mistake, right?
Why does everybody have bad credit? It's kind of crazy, right? I mean, I know they're pretty much all skits, but on one side, we're watching all these videos of all these people saying they can clean up your credit and this and that. And then the other side, we're watching all these videos of them joking around about these people who are going in trying to buy cars and do stuff like that. And they have these horrible credit scores. What's the disconnect? I wouldn't call you to go get a car until I called him first to get my credit fixed, right?
Right.
It made no sense, right? Wouldn't I go get my credit fixed first so I don't embarrass myself trying to go get the car? So I'd go get my credit fixed first, right? And then I'd come over here and go get the car and just keep rinse and repeating because again, I haven't learned anything. So I'm going to run right back out and go get a car I can't afford and jack my credit right back up. Cool. But I know I can go right back to this person and they're going to clean it right back up. And I can keep on doing that, right?
Yeah.
So habits, definitely. If when people call me all the time and they say, "Do you do credit repair?" And I say, "Not the way you think it. I don't help you write letters. I don't do any disputes. I don't do anything like that. I help you get on a budget to help you not be in that position." And here's the crazy part. I know from experience. When I was growing my business, I got behind on some credit cards, stuff like that. So again, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. Let's be clear on that. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I've had credit problems when I was trying to grow my business, just like everybody else. But I didn't call anybody in dispute and try to say that's not my legitimate bill. Those were my bills. So I worked through them.
Right.
Like with Leah, I did debt. I personally did debt management. I went through, I got on my budget. I stopped using credit cards. I started just using cash, things like that, until I grew my business. I didn't run out and try to dispute and try to get stuff removed from my credit and stuff like that. I worked it out. So again, like I said, I'm not saying it from higher than everybody, almighty, and thinking I'm better than people. To me, again, it goes back to, if that's my debt, I should pay that back. Correct? If that's my debt, I should pay that back. If I own a business and everybody's walking around saying they're not going to pay me, I'm gonna go out of business, right? So why should I have that mindset when I'm borrowing money or I'm paying for somebody's services or I'm paying for a product and stuff like that? Why should I have that mindset when I don't want my clients to have that mindset when they're dealing with me, right? I don't want you
Yeah.
walking around saying I'm not going to pay Eric. I'm not going to pay him for his services. I'm not going to pay him for his product. I'm just going to dispute it. If he tries to sue me, I'm just going to dispute it. And I know that sounds stupid, but that is exactly what these videos are telling you to do. Are they not? That's exactly what they're telling you to do. They're saying if you have this bad credit, if you have all these things on your credit and stuff like that, just dispute them. But think of it from the other side. If I'm a business owner, would I want everybody walking around doing that to me? If I was,
No.
I actually have clients. Somebody was here the other day. He said he was suing somebody. He said, I have all these net 30 and they're not paying me.
Mm.
He does a landscaping business. He's like, I have all these clients. I'm sending out all these invoices and they're all past net 30. He's like, I'm getting ready to lose my house.
Whoa. Really?
He ain't got no money. You know, the people aren't paying him. They aren't paying him. Do you see what I'm saying? When you look at it like that,
Wow.
you see how crazy that sounds? To have the mindset in your head that I don't got to pay you back. If I have this credit card, I can just dispute it. If I have this repossession, I can just dispute it. We don't think of it like that. We don't think like that. We just sit back and say, I don't feel like paying it. I'm going to go do all these things. And again, one more time, if it's something that is legitimately not correct, that's a whole different conversation. Number one. And then number two, things happen. You're right. If I have a medical emergency, lose my job, all types of things like that, those type of things happen. I get it. But in most situations, Isaac, it's somebody who went to the dealership knowing they could not afford that car. It's somebody who took, like you said, got a $5, $10, $15,000 credit card that they weren't supposed to get, and they ran up and did a bunch of cruises and bought a bunch of shoes and went out to eat and did all these things and ran these credit cards up and then can't pay them back. That's not the same conversation. It's not the same conversation as somebody who lost their job, who had some type of medical emergency or something like that. It's not the same conversation. And the majority of the people who are clicking credit, 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 and trying to get stuff removed from their credit, it's stuff that is legitimately on your credit, that is your fault, your irresponsibility, you living above your means and doing types of things. And now you believe that because you're watching these videos, you are entitled to get this stuff removed from your credit. That's a whole different conversation. And if you don't change your mindset, if you don't change your budget, if you don't change the way how you look and deal with money, you're going to always be in this cycle. And that's the most important thing to take from this conversation is even if you somehow get this cleaned up or whatever, you do not want to keep running this cycle. You do not want to keep living above your means. You don't want to continue to always be in debt. You want to figure out how to start living within your means. And again, the best way to do that is with the budget. And again, we talk about it all the time. If you're doing the 50, 30, 20, you should be fine because you are putting 20%, 15 to 20% of your income into some type of savings account, emergency fund, investing, things like that. So when things do happen, hopefully you've built up that over time to be able to handle that emergency, to be able to handle if you were to lose your job or something like that, having the 3 to 6 months in your emergency fund or a savings account, a brokerage account, anything like that. So it really doesn't hit you. But if you're someone who has that mindset of living paycheck to paycheck and just putting everything on your credit card and I'm just going to pay the minimum and do all these things like that, you're setting yourself up for disaster. You're setting yourself up for disaster. So if you're somebody who's living like that, who's living way above your means, living paycheck to paycheck, and then getting by, again, by things that you are doing that are not needs. I'll put it like that. You're spending a whole bunch of your money on wants and not needs. You are setting yourself up for failure. I know it's rough out here and everything like that, as far as people being able to pay their bills and things like that. You know, obviously we understand that. How do you navigate that and things like that on cashless? Does she mean like using credit cards, or she's talking about what does she mean by that?
Yeah, like Austin, going to like a cashless
Mhm.
situation where it's all card and you have to swipe. So you can't use like take out the cash and then, just pay for what you want. You have to use the card.
So then you would be using your debit card as opposed to your credit card. And that's dangerous. As I've said before, I've always said probably the worst invention in thank you. Thank you so much, Maya. And we are going to, I am kind of cleaning it up a little bit. But we are going to put a budget sheet into the Financial Turtle website. I am going to do that. I'm working on, I'm thinking about putting the budget that I already have in there, but I am trying to clean up the budget a little bit to make it a little bit easier to navigate. And I'm going to put that into the website. But again, anybody, just like Maya and a few other people last week, they did reach out to me and they asked me to send them the budget. If you would like that budget, like I sent to them, again, just go to info@thefinancialturtle.com and we will send you the budget. And again, like I said to Maya and anybody else, we can do a quick 30-minute consultation for me to explain to you how to use the budget and how to make it work for you. So if anybody wants that, again, go to info@thefinancialturtle.com and we will email you a copy of the budget. But what was I saying? Sorry, I lost my track. What was I saying?
Yeah, you just wrapping up as far as the conversation when it comes to living below your means, and we got into the budget and the cashless.
Oh yeah, she asked about the cashless part. So yeah, to me, I think a debit card is. I think it's dangerous because of the plain and simple fact, especially if you're somebody who has what is that? The overcharge protection. So a lot of people, they just swipe. Yeah. So they just swipe their card and they don't balance or reconcile their bank statements every month. So you really don't have an idea of how much money you really and truly have. So a lot of times when we go through the budget with clients and we take a look at their expenses every month, a lot of times they have overcharge fees because they're swiping their debit card and the bank is going ahead and the bank is letting the card swipe, but you don't have that money in the account. So like she said, it'd be a lot easier if you do the envelopes, the Dave Ramsey thing or whatever, where if you put the cash into the envelopes every month. And so once that cash runs out of the envelope, so say like I have a certain amount of money in the envelope every month for entertainment. Once I run out of that money, I can't go out to eat. I can't go do anything for the month until the next month. that is a great, it seems elementary, but it's a very good way of making sure you stay within your budget. It's hard when you have a card, like she said, because again, unless you have a ledger and a budget where you are taking a look at that, same thing. Unless you have a preloaded debit card where it's like, hey, once that debit card runs out, it's gonna not let me use it. So in the same thought process, but a lot of people, again, not only do a lot of people not have budgets, a lot of people do not balance their bank statements, do not balance their bank account, not even on a monthly basis. People like me, we do it like daily, basically. But a lot of people do not balance their bank accounts on a monthly basis to be able to know how much money is in their bank account. All they do is they pull up their account, and it says that's how much money is in their account. But there might be stuff you might have wrote a check. There might be something that's getting ready to be drafted out of your account, and so you might think you have money in that account, and then when you go to swipe something, whatever, it'll take it. But then, like, say I have something that's being automatically debited out of my account every month, it might go to take that out, and the money's not in there. But it'll do it, but then you'll get charged those overcharge fees. You can ready to ask a question?
No, I was just gonna say, it's like, is that something you can help for those who are tuning in right now, to say, hey, look, I really don't know how to reconcile a bank account. I didn't even know that was a word that actually related to finances. And you said, well, how do I really balance my finances and that? And I think that it could be a lot. Like, the truth, I got to really look at what I'm spending and what I'm bringing in. And I know finances is a very personal thing, but maybe there's some folks out there that don't know how to do that. Is that something you can
Yeah,
help
and
or do a workshop on or something like
correct.
that?
I'm
Or they
definitely
can,
gonna do workshops on it, but to do one-on-ones, again, I do a free 30-minute consultation, or we charge a small fee for your first consultation. To do the first sit down to talk for like an hour and stuff like that. I don't charge the full hourly fee to sit down with the client to kind of go over to see if we're a fit, to kind of see what you're looking for and stuff like that, if I can help you. And then if we move forward, then that's when we set up the appointments to actually be the monthly, quarterly, or whatever consultations. But if you are somebody who just wants to sit down and have a quick conversation, again, just go to info@thefinancialturtle.com. Send us an email to set up an appointment, and I will get back with you to get you on the calendar to just do a quick 30-minute call or a quick 30-minute Zoom meeting.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're at our time, Eric, for this evening. Thank you, sir. Really appreciate it. For those of you tuning in to Master Your Money with Eric Anderson, this has been phenomenal. I told you guys he was on one this all day today, and then coming on. So thank you, Eric, for all your advice. We'll be here every Tuesday, here live, Master Your Money. Please reach out to us. Follow us on Anderson Taxes on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We'll be here. Let us know at info@thefinancialturtle.com if you have any questions, anything at all. You need the budget sheet, or if you want to have a consultation, please reach out.
Yeah, I was going to say, I see the chat. I'm not really seeing the chat. I just see there's like 40 to 50, I'm assuming, questions.
Yeah.
If there's any question that you have that we did not get to today, again, just reach out to info@thefinancialturtle.com and I'll get back to you. Or you also flash the phone number. You can text me at 512-626-7545. Just shoot me a quick text and I'll respond to your text, and we can set up, again, a quick 30-minute consultation.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
I really appreciate everybody coming on and asking all your questions. And I look forward to talking to everybody again next week. What are we talking about next week, Isaac?
All right.
Isaac, what are we talking about next week?
I forgot. I had it up here, and then what was it? I forgot. I had it up, and now it's gone. Well, we'll let you know what it is and what we're at. We'll have the link on there. And so please, if you follow YouTube and Eric Anderson, we'll be able to put that up, and we'll have that next one kind of, I think it's profit and like business. I think it's profit and business and like something around that. I think it's something like that. Yeah, is the next one. So if you have a business, a small business, you're looking to get more into that and get more information about that, please tune in, join us, let us know if you have any questions.
Also, if there's anything you want us to talk about, just again, put that in the chat or send that to info@financial-turtle, or go to, like you said, the YouTube page, go to Anderson Taxes and ask your questions on there, and we can put that into one of our podcasts.
Awesome.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and I look forward to seeing everybody next Tuesday at the same time.
All right. Thank you guys. All right.